Hi, my name is Mathieu Chevalier and I'm heading the product security team. This team is responsible for the cybersecurity aspect of our portfolio of products. So this includes collaborating with development teams on the design, on the implementation, and on the testing aspect of our development cycle. But the responsibility are also bigger than that. We're helping with sales support, answering customer questions, managing third-party audit and penetration testing, and also managing cyber response. Cyber response is acting accordingly when there is an incident that's happening. It's staying current with what's happening outside with the industry so that we can react correctly if something bad happens. And it's keeping up to date in general with the current threat landscape. Somewhat surprisingly, the physical security industry is lagging behind in terms of cyber compared to other industries that we know well. For example, the consumer products industry or the web in general. Why is that? Because people in this industry have been using perimeter defense for a long time. Perimeter defense is the idea that you can get a secure shell around your system and that the inside of your system can be soft because the outer side is hard. This approach is generally not considered a good approach today. Why? Because it tends to fail. Those assumptions are hard to maintain in real life, and when they fail, they tend to fail catastrophically. So the better approach is to have a defense in depth strategy. This means that you want to have multiple layers of defense, one on top of each other. So if one layer fails, well, you have a second behind it, and maybe a third behind this one as well. This is the idea that the military people, that are using for a long time. This is how castles are built. So what we want to do is bring this idea inside of our own industry. This is basically IT security best practices today. Now, we know that this is easy to say, but it might be harder to implement in practice. So this is where Genetec is coming in. What we're working on, or what we're aiming to achieve here, is to automate that process as much as possible, so this becomes transparent for our user and for our customer. So one of the cornerstones of IT security today is certificate. This is a hard topic to grasp. However, it can be understood in two different ways. The first one is providing authentication services to people that want to communicate with each other. The other thing that it's doing is providing something to encrypt data. So authentication is this idea that you want to make sure that you're speaking to the right person when you're trying to address a specific entity on a network. A certificate can be used to establish a strong identity for a server, and so somebody connecting to that server can be sure that this is the right server that is interacting with. This is what is used in HTTPS, for example, on the web. The same technology is used, certificate. Certificate can also be used to encrypt things. So typically, a key can be exchanged between two parties, and this key can be used to encrypt data with it. At Genetec, we use that to protect video, for example. So in a video surveillance products, protecting the confidentiality of your video data is really important. Certificates are used in that way to encrypt video by default, and so that you can get security by default with the product. So cybersecurity awareness has increased a lot in the last couple of years. This is due to the fact that we've seen high-profile hacks in the media, and that the subject is more and more discussed generally at large. We expect this trend to continue, the importance of cyber to continue to increase, and Genetec will continue working to bring innovation in that space to protect our customer better.